YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. We got to talk. We've got to talk, man. The year is about to end and I want to start off by saying I am very grateful for all the support, the continued engagement, right? Behind me is the masterful 77-inch Sony A95L. And as we go into the new year, we're going to experience more TVs. I've put myself in position to be able to experience, quite frankly, the best displays of 2023. And I also opened my, taste a little bit to experience some nice mid-tier models. I was able to purchase and review and retain still the Hisense U7K as well as the TCL Q7. Those are two nice TVs. I really respect what the Q7 brought. So it's not always about the highest echelon of TVs. Mid-tier options are some great opportunities too. So as we go into 2024, we kind of know what to expect. We know there's going to be an LG C4, a G4, there'll be an S90D, an S95D, whatever the new Sony is going to be, and all the other options that are all in between, front, middle, back of the spectrum. We're going to see all of that. But what about the sources? What are we actually utilizing to get the most out of these TVs, right? So I want to take a little bit of time on this video to really start off by cascading me setting the expectations. So make sure you use the timestamps. It's going to be kind of a niche-like video produced today for you guys, but follow the timestamps. Let's look at those bullet points. We might get you to a certain point. What I want to do is I want to talk about this particular PC that I've got built. We got to talk about what's going to be used to get the most out of the TVs, okay? Because what happens is you buy TVs and you have very small, upgrades, very small jumps. You get people saying, hey, I've got a TV I've had for about 3-4 years. I don't feel like I need to upgrade it. That's totally fine. But maybe you aren't experiencing new sources, okay? Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray has pretty much hit its peak. It's only going to look so good. You get the right player, you get the right set of content, getting physical media content, but you're not going to see leaps and bounds jumps panel to panel, okay? Using something like a gaming PC is going to put you in a position where you will be able to see, a push another level. You'll be able to look for those extra differences that you will get out of 23 to 24, 22 to 23 models. In any event, we're going to get this going right after this intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As I said in the opening sequence, I am TKK, that stands for the King Kindred. And I believe you would call me a jack of many trades, okay? So this is a PC case. Believe it or not, this thing is super tiny. And so, I just wanted to get you a quick overview of what this looks like. Now, this isn't a sponsored video. This is a product that I built and I've had for quite some time. And we'll talk in just a few about the logic behind this upload. I always like to explain why I'm making certain videos because I think it helps in the end game of what it is that I do here. So my niche, the space that I seen the most success in YouTube content creating is the home theater space, specifically TV panels. As I said, I like to go after, what's going to be enjoyable to me. My hobby is into getting flagship TVs. It's just what I enjoy. And so I do actually watch my TVs and so forth. And I love to game, right? Now, I'm going to take you guys around. This is going to be shot kind of like a vlog. And I do have a full dedicated gaming PC for my setup for this A95L. That PC right there has NVIDIA RTX 4090, Intel i9-13900K. I did not see a need to jump to 14th generation DDR RAM and everything. It's where it needs to be. Performs flawlessly, okay? It's a big case though, as you can see. It needs to kind of set where it's at. And I have it positioned where it's at because it's elevated. The power supply is in the middle of the case and so forth. So that's that. I digress. So just taking a quick look into my TV stand, I wouldn't be able to fit that PC here. And there was once upon a time when I had a home theater media style case. But as you go back and you look into this small little cube, This thing is a little bit larger than a Nintendo GameCube. If you've been gaming long enough to know what that is, yeah. So just for some sizing reference, I'll kind of get my hands around it. Obviously, I'm an adult. I do have some longer fingers, but yeah, this thing is nice and compact. Now let's talk about why I'm making this video. Let's just discuss that for a moment. All right, so I just want to take a quick minute to talk about like the sizing of this thing, okay? This TV stand, not the largest. Recently, I acquired the Panasonic 4K Blu-ray player, the 820 model. That's this right here. It's been pretty great. Okay. Unit small and compact enough to fit nicely right in there. The case is so tiny, air circulation is pretty good too. It's not like the receiver style case that I had that took up horizontally the entire shelving, which would make it harder for the graphics card, which is on the left in this instance, to be able to generate enough air, right, intake. But yeah, as you can see, that thing fits right on in there, right? So depending on the type of hardware you decide to get with this, I'm just using this obviously as an example. This isn't going to be a real feature in my setup. I'm perfectly fine with having the big boy gaming PC segregated over to the left from where my things are, because you really can't see it when it's on and it's functioning. But this is a really good option going into any type of micro mini motherboard slash case to get us something. So we will get some gameplay within this video. I've got a couple of parts I need to adjust and take out and test with this thing. So just giving you a little bit of a backstory as to, you know, how crafty I thought this thing was when I was using it for a small period of time in here. Building PCs happens to be a passion of mine. It's one of my many hobbies. I'm into a couple of different things, and this is kind of a end of the year type of video. So, you know, I'm going to use it to talk, to give people a better opportunity who may be new subscribers, new followers. I won't call you fans, new friends. I don't like to use fans. I like to use friends. Maybe you're a new friend to the channel, and you know, you're just kind of wondering like, what's my deal, right? So I'm into a couple of different things. I am a blessed father of 8 kids. I have a really big family. And so out of my 8 children, for the majority of them, man, I built PCs for 2 of my 3 daughters and for 4 of my 5 sons, right? So only leaves 2 kids that don't have dedicated PCs. And so this thing right here is actually in need of a little bit of work. I'm having some intermittent cutout issues. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I buy into a lot of different things. Similarly to TVs, I have a lot of different personal computers that are personally mine. So let me be clear. This thing was not in rotation to being used at all. Like, this was not a system that was in rotation at all, being used for me personally. This was something I put together some time ago for like an arcade project. That's one of the other things that I'm kind of into. I'm just trying to find all the screws for this thing to get it taken apart. And I determined that, you know, hey, this thing would be really nice to go into that. And then at some point, I just started having issues with it. And the issues were just, like I said, intermittent. It was just like Windows would just cut out. So I think it might have something to do with the processor. I'm not sure. But I got to thinking like, man, the form factor of this is so cool. At some point in this video, we will go around to me getting this thing put into the TV cabinet that I personally use, just so you can see how something so powerful can be so small, because this truly is one of the things that will take a person away from PC gaming. And the baseline of this video is that we need to get stronger sources. Like, you may not need a stronger TV, you may not need a better TV, but you definitely need a more accurate source that can push your TV to its limits. So let me just get you a look around at this thing, right? Hopefully you can see this pretty good. This is one side of it. This is the back end of it. This is the other end of it. So the graphics card right here, this is just an RTX 2060. I'm actually going to be putting a 3080 Ti inside of this thing. And then here's the front. The front actually comes off with this this case also. So I'm going to work to get this thing all taken apart. There's some screws there on the bottom. But you get you a top look at this thing, and you got your power supply. Now, this PC, we're going to get into some technical discussion. So let's switch the timestamps here. This PC is what you would call a mini tower, okay? So you have to have literally a mini motherboard to fit into this thing. Also, this particular one can take either a full or mini power supply, or small form factor as they call it, SFF to be specific, that's the acronym. So I have a 650 watt SFF in here, and I have a mini motherboard. The mini motherboard of choice that I have is an older MSI one that I had just kind of laying around. I'll give you guys a deeper look as I get this thing broken apart. But this is a very capable system. Right now I only have one hard drive into it, and it's a SATA solid state. The motherboard does have a couple of ports that I can put, you know, drives onto it, M.2s to be specific. But as of right now, as I said, this is something that was literally collecting dust in storage. I went to get some other things out of storage the other day, and I said, damn, I forgot that I had this in here. So let me pull it out. Let's get some content. So we're going to adjust transition so I can finish getting this taken apart, and then we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. So about 20 minutes has passed, taking this thing completely apart. We got the motherboard processor there. You got this knocked to a cooler. Got the case taken completely apart. We've got that RTX 2060 that was in there. We're going to be doing the 3080 Ti. I'll card in some content when I took my 3080 Ti from my son. I gave him my 3090. Kind of got an upgrade system. And if you guys are interested in watching this type of PC stuff, please. I know it's not nearly as many people that are going to flock for like the home theater, new TV stuff. But exercise some support, leave some comments, have some engagement. So with that being said, let's take a little bit of time for me to talk about what I think the issue is. It's one of two things, I believe, because I've redone Windows on this system. I think what's happening, I guess it could be one of three things. I don't think it's RAM. I think it's either I'm having some problems with the processor or with the motherboard. So what's happening is this thing is perfectly fine. When you put a game on under load, it just eventually just like completely shuts down. It goes into like a restart. And again, I've reset Windows, did a new fresh restart on Windows. I did multiple GPUs because I had a 3070 in here at one point. I put the spare 2060 in here just so that I didn't have parts lying around. So what I'm going to look to do is this is a 10th gen i7 10700 KF. I'm going to put in a spare 11th gen i7. This motherboard does work with 10th and 11th gen. Now, I'm not looking to upgrade this any more beyond that, because as I said, this is not a main system, but just another round of look at the parts. It's the power supply. We've got the motherboard there, cooler for the motherboard, RAM is already on there, and we just kind of took this apart, and we do have that hard drive that's going to be there. As I said earlier, this does have space opening for a hard drive, and I actually might have an M.2 loaded on there. And then when you look to the back of this thing, there's an opening right there for me to be able to put another. I can't tell if I have a drive in there or not. It's been a long time since I've used this thing. All right, and there's a look at that 3080 Ti. That's what this is, Founders Edition. So this thing is going to look really clean. Now, guys, this system is actually going to have a use case. I've got some more content I need to create in the beginning of the year. So we're going to get this video to you. We're going to keep shooting this and getting this to you. But this PC will be utilized for some different type of things that'll be coming early in the new year with the channel. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get to working on this. I'm not going to film all of the swapping the processor and such, but we'll come back after some time has gone by. All right, guys, my damn motherboard is shot. So I changed the processor and then I changed the RAM, and I'm positive it's not the power supply. So what's happening is I'm actually, like, Windows is actually shutting itself down from a hardware perspective. So I'm pretty confident it's the motherboard. I had an issue like this about 4 or 5 years ago. So I can't really conclude this video the way that I want to, but how about we just call this a part one, right? Or we'll make a continuation or something to get back to this. Because what I wanted to do was I wanted to get more in the space of talking about PC components and such, right? You know, how well this does for your TV. If you're a gamer, this is obviously to someone that's gaming centric on your TV. If you're getting down gaming, I think we're in an incredible space now where variable refresh rate works optimal on PCs because it works on everything. It's not like selected titles and such like that, like it is on consoles. And I have nothing on my A95L right now. There is a Nintendo Switch in the mix of this setup that I have, but there's no PlayStation, there's no Xbox. And right now I don't have a desire to have one there. I just do not. My gaming PC gives me everything I need there. I do have an arcade cabinet. I'm sure you've seen in passing where we did a rotation of the video that's in this room. And there's an Xbox Series X inside of it. My Chulix has a PlayStation 5 inside of it, but I don't have a desire to have that on the big screen. I'm okay with PC. And what it does is it allows you to open up so much, right? So I know it's going to be a big focus point on my channel going into the new year. So I wanted to conclude this year, one of the later videos at least, going into talking about like what's possible, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this computer taken apart and get a motherboard ordered, do some more behind the scenes testing and such like that. I actually had another computer I had to work on today, so I had to actually do some PC building today. So that was one of those kind of days. And I'll probably end up bringing more of that content to this channel going forward. Like I said, if you're interested at all, make sure you leave some engagement. In any event, I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, man, max love. We out.